Great.
The first is going to be the most obvious from me, and I am biased, but it's make your mindset a priority. Make your level of belief in what you're doing a priority. Make your whole state of being a priority, because you are going to be inundated with those messages about, startup statistics and you're crazy and this, that, and the other thing. And your level of belief in what you are doing needs to be so strong that if you scroll past a headline that says something like VC funding is down by 54% this year, you need to be completely unaffected by that. You need to think, oh, doesn't apply to me. That is how strong your belief in what you're doing and your potential should be. So prioritize that. And then the second thing I would say is manage both your mind and your body. That's how you create a really strong, resilient growth mindset, is by both, yes, being in the gym and creating strength and a sense of well-being, and also training yourself on the level of belief, right? Because to speak to those people I mentioned earlier who are like, yeah, I go to the gym, I work out, that's how I keep my mind in check. That doesn't usually impact us on the level of belief. And when I say the level of belief, that's things like, fundraising is hard, right? The more you believe fundraising is hard, the harder it's going to be. The crunchier your conversations are going to be. I'm not good at sales. That's a belief that somebody might be holding, and that is going to color their experience in fundraising. So going to the gym won't help you with that. You need to be training your mind as well. And I guess I can share resources for that on my LinkedIn if people want to go deeper. The third I would say is be wildly discerning with your time and energy. Your energy is the most precious resource that you have. And so that means you need to be discerning even in instances where it doesn't feel important. And an example I would give is, say some former colleague comes in from out of town and they want to get dinner, and you don't have other plans, but you don't feel like you have a real reason to say no. And so you go along with it, even though it doesn't really feel life-giving or exciting for you to do so. Practice saying no to things like that, because the more you are discerning in places where it doesn't seem important, the easier it is for you to be discerning in places where it's really important, and much harder to do. You have to teach yourself who you are through those decisions. The fourth thing I'd like to share is that you understand what ultimately is going to sell an investor on, let's say, your product versus an equivalent competitor's product, is going to be their connection to you, right? A lot of people talk about founder confidence, but I think that sales is ultimately about connection, right? It's about connecting two people in a business relationship. It's about connecting the customer or the investor and the problem that they want to solve, the goal that they have, right? And your capacity to create connection with another human is predicated on your own level of openness in that moment, which is usually a function of your presence, your relaxation. So that takes us back to the importance of tips 1 and 2. And then finally, I would say you're going to encounter hard decisions in your fundraising journey. There's going to be places where you have to make trade-offs, or you don't know what the best move is. Like maybe you have an offer from a partner that you're not completely sold on, and you're not sure if you should take it or keep pushing and try to find a more ideal partner. And in those situations, I would say it's really wise and beneficial for you to first zoom out and figure out what you value first. So do you value being the type of leader who's absolutely relentless about having relationships with the right people in business? Or are you someone who's willing to compromise in order to keep going, in order to keep making progress, right? It can be really clarifying and save you a lot of mental anguish if you first decide on what you value in sort of a meta sense before you have to make a hard decision. That's it. I think I got everything that I wanted to share.